It's time for Recipe of the Day. For this Taco Tuesday, we are heading over to thecookful.com. That is one of my websites where we have a series on ground turkey. And the entire reason for doing this series is that ground turkey has the reputation of being dry and maybe bland, less flavor. And so I really wanted to come up with recipes that make that turkey taste great, juicy, not spongy, caramelized, all of that good stuff. And those recipes are using that ground turkey in a variety of ways. You can work it into your rotation if you want to eat ground turkey. So today is the ground turkey tacos. These are really, really basic tacos. Like, you buy the packet of taco seasoning at the grocery store and it tells you what to do. This is almost the same thing, but we're using ground turkey and we're making sure that it tastes great. You do not need the packet of taco seasoning, though. You can use it if you have one. If you love it, go for it. But if not, I have a taco seasoning recipe on the Cookful that is perfect for this. If you're not familiar with the seasoning series that we did on the Cookful, you should definitely check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes. You should bookmark it because I think it is one of the most brilliant things we've ever done. It's just a whole bunch of different seasoning blends that are often called for in recipes. And we give you the amount that you need to make like a jar full, but we also give you the amounts to make like 2 tablespoons of it, or even just to like sprinkle some into something. So if a recipe just calls for a teaspoon of, for instance, taco seasoning, you can make the whole jar full. It's like a 4-ounce jar, or you can follow the 2 tablespoon recipe, or it also just says sprinkle in a little bit of cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, dried oregano, chili powder to make up that amount. So like what's in it and what flavors to hit if you just want to sprinkle in the stuff from your own pantry, or you could actually make a small little batch of the blend to add that if you want. Now, the taco seasoning one in particular is really great because it has a little bit of cornstarch in it, which is one of the things in a store-bought packet. And that's why, when you're doing taco meat according to the store packet of seasoning, it always tells you to add water and then wait for the sauce to thicken. It's because there's a little cornstarch in there that's thickening the sauce. We are doing that with this one too. Now, if you were going to use that taco seasoning for something that wasn't going to be a sauce, like if you're doing, one of those like 7-layer dips where you're mixing taco seasoning with sour cream, you don't need to add the cornstarch because you're not thickening anything. You know what I mean? Oh, that is one of my favorites. I need to do that recipe one of these days. It is basically sour cream and cream cheese mixed together, softened cream cheese, and then you add the taco seasoning and you put it in a pie plate and you top it with lettuce, tomatoes, green onions, and cheddar cheese. So retro, so good. I used to love it when my mom made it. I still make it every now and then, but not too often because I can't stop eating it. Like at my own party, I'm standing there next to the dip that I made, or I take it like to a potluck sort of appetizer party or whatever, and I'm standing next to the thing that I made, eating the thing that I made. Yeah, that's me with that taco seasoning dip. Anyhow, bookmark the seasoning series on the Cookful. It has all those seasonings: Cajun, Creole, Italian seasoning, Montreal steak seasoning, everything that you could ever want. When you come across a recipe and you're like, oh no, I don't have that blend, you head over there and then you have that blend. You know what I mean? Okay, that was a rather long tangent. I will tell you though what you need to do to make 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. If you don't have a packet, it is 1 3/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 3/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 3/4 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of sweet or smoked paprika. The more classic would be the sweet paprika, but if you want that little smoky flavor, go with that. And then the 1/4 teaspoon of the cornstarch, optional, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Mix that up and you're going to use that. That 2 tablespoons is equivalent to a package, a standard taco seasoning package, and is exactly the right amount to season 1 pound of ground turkey, which is what this recipe calls for. So you are going to heat a tablespoon of cooking oil in a skillet over medium-high heat, and then you're going to add that ground turkey, 1 pound. Now, I'm going to say don't use ground turkey breast here, use ground turkey. If you are going to use ground turkey breast, I would really recommend that you chop up some mushrooms and saute those first. It really helps bring a lot of moisture to that ground turkey breast. You can do that with the ground turkey too. And actually that ground turkey chili that I'm going to be telling you about, it does that. It really does make a difference. It brings in a lot of umami and juiciness. I will link to the how to cook ground turkey recipe, which talks about those mushrooms so you know to do that. It is not in the recipe that I'm linking to for these turkey tacos. I'm just telling you, if you're going to go with ground turkey breast, think about adding some moisture through some kind of vegetable. And mushrooms have that umami or like meaty flavor, which really is very helpful here too. Okay, so you're adding that pound of turkey and you're breaking it up into small crumbles as it cooks, and you're cooking and stirring until it's well browned, about 10 to 12 minutes. Then take it off the heat and stir in your taco seasoning and a quarter cup of chicken broth. You could use water if you wanted. Chicken broth is just more flavorful. Now, when I'm making tacos, I typically get all of my toppings ready ahead of time. So really, I should have told you that at the beginning. But if you're doing shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, guacamole, or cubed avocados, salsa, any of that stuff, get that out. And then just leave this turkey on low at the end here, and you're going to heat the taco shells. I'm going to tell you about a few things to make that better. If you are doing soft flour tortillas, my favorite way to heat them is to put the whole stack of them on a plate, microwave safe plate, top that with a damp paper towel and put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds at a time till they're warm. That paper towel keeps them nice and moist so they don't dry out. If you're doing soft corn tortillas, I'm going to link to the how-to for this, but I can tell you I love doing them under the broiler. Usually people do them in a dry pan over the stove, but you can only do like one or two at a time. You get a big pan, you put those corn tortillas on there, you put them under the broiler just until they get some brown spots, but only do one side. Take them out, flip them over, and you're going to put your fillings on the non-toasted side. They are perfect like that. Or if you are using hard corn tacos, tortillas, those ones that are like U-shaped, the thing I'm going to say is you're going to do them in the oven according to the package directions, but definitely do nest them one inside of the other. The package usually says to do that. I also like, though, often the package comes with like a little piece of cardboard that was kind of holding the last one open. I leave that in there, and then they all are a little bit more open and stay open like that. And I'll just say, I'm not usually one for like gimmicky new brand versions of the old thing. Like, you know, when they make ketchup green or whatever, I'm not usually that person, but I do love the stand and stuffed tacos. They just are wider and they hold open better. I love those. Great innovation. Old El Paso. No, they're not a sponsor. I just think that's a really, really great thing that they did. Okay. So once your taco shells are heated, you divide that cooked turkey between them. This makes enough for 12 tacos. And then you put your cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour cream, whatever toppings you're doing in there, and dig in juicy and flavorful, wonderful Taco Tuesday turkey tacos. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is June 10th of 2025. The other place you can get the link is in our Facebook group for this podcast. I post the recipe of the day link there every single day, so you can always find what I'm talking about and be inspired about what you can make that day. You can join that group at facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast recipe of the day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.